Good afternoon from the Namoli Family Stadium. This afternoon, the Tampa Spartans playing host to the Davenport Panthers. I'm Bruce Wozniak here to call the action for you. In the first of a doubleheader, a scheduled doubleheader between these two teams, as Davenport brings to town a 1-2 overall one-loss record, and the Spartans have played significantly more thus far this season. They have a overall one-loss record of 9-5. And for UT this afternoon, no stranger to the pitching circle. It will be Corinne Miner getting the start here in this first game. And thus far, she has pitched 59 2/3 innings this season, a 6-2 one-loss record, and an ERA of an eye-popping 0.70. Spartans coming into this game off of a doubleheader split 2 days ago. They lost 2-0 here at home against St. Leo in Game 1 and then defeated the Lions 3-0 in Game 2. Davenport, on the other hand, as I mentioned, 1-2 overall. They did win their first game of the season, a 3-1 victory before losing their last two. So looking to get back on the winning track here. Those 3 games that they played were up in Nashville. The school is located up in Michigan. So starting off the season with a road trip south and then further south, coming here to West Central Florida. As the first pitch of the game was ball 1, and now Corinne Miner deals and swing and a miss there for the leadoff hitter, Celine Pauly. And Pauly thus far .333 on the season, as the next one is shot to right field and caught for out number 1. Catch made out there by Mackenzie Allen. And that will bring to the plate Gabby Palazzolo. And the first pitch to her, she looks at for a ball. Palazzolo, a sophomore from Sterling Heights, Michigan, batting .125 thus far in her team's 3 games. And the next pitch to her swung on and fouled down the third base side. 1-1 with 1 out here in the top of the first. And a beautiful Monday here in Tampa. Next pitch is outside for ball 2. Our game time temperature 77 degrees. And now the 2-1 on the way, swung on and missed. 2-2 against Palazzolo. So with this afternoon's doubleheader, UT playing 5 games. As you see, that one fouled back. Playing 5 games in 4 days. They opened up Friday night with a 6-3 come-from-behind victory here at home against St. Leo. As you see, the 2-2 on the way, swung on and going to be fouled down the left field line. And to reset, they won 6-3 in a come-from-behind victory on Friday night against St. Leo, number 16 ranked St. Leo, I should say. And then the aforementioned doubleheader split 2 days ago, and here they are against Davenport with back-to-back games here on this Monday. As you see, the pop fly to left field and caught out there for out number 2.
Batting third for the Panthers, number 24, Lex Florida.
And the put out recorded by Emily Prophet in left field. And swing and a miss for the number 3 hitter, Alexa Flores. And Flores, with a nice start to this season, 444 batting average as she takes ball one from Corinne Miner. And the 1-1 on the way. And strike called by home plate umpire Ralph Rodriguez. And he is joined on the crew today by Steve Haney, who is currently just beyond the first base bag. The 1-2 and struck to right field for a base hit. And Alexa Flores gets the Panthers' first hit of the game. A 2-out single. Which will bring up the cleanup hitter, Rachel Griffin. Griffin hitting .222, has played in all three of Davenport's games thus far. And ready for the first offering from Corinne Miner. And that's low for ball one. Looking down the line at her head coach, Amber Bowman. And now Griffin stepping back into the batter's box and ready for the 1-0, which is on the way. And strike one as she looks at that one. Miner delivers strike two, and Rachel Griffin behind now with 2 outs. And her teammate Alexa Flores over at first base swung on and missed for strike three, and that will do it for the Panthers in the top of the first. No runs on one hit. There were no Spartan errors and no Panthers left on base. And we'll be back on TampaSpartans.tv with the bottom of the first.
For 42 minutes, he's been trying to bring an entire stadium to its feet. Why does he do it? For glory? Notoriety? We don't know. Frankly, we don't need to know. But much like this hero, Courtyard is all about the game.
1, 2, 3. Whoa, there's my guy. Yes. Go. Snacks? Yeah, man. Eat it up, and we're going to burn it off doing the wave.
Back here at the Nemoli Family Stadium, ready for the bottom of the first inning as Ellie Mullenberg finishes up her warm-up pitches. And she comes in with a 1.00 earned run average, a 1-0 one-loss record. She pitched 7 innings. And she will face the Spartans leadoff hitter, Steph Ballmer. And Ballmer, 265 average thus far this season. As you see, first pitch for strike one. And a rather intimidating look by Mullenberg in the circle with the goggles or maybe sunglasses inside that face mask. And regardless, she is ahead on Steph Ballmer. 0-2, next pitch on the way, up high for ball one. Steph Ballmer at 5'10", a big target for Mullenberg to throw to, as the next one is chopped, and the shortstop, Brianna Allen, got her glove on it, but sliding into second is Steph Ballmer. And so the Spartans leadoff hitter gets on base with a shot through the shortstop. And that one is scored a hit, although it looked like Brianna Allen might have gotten a piece of it. Score that one too hot to handle. And that will bring up Christina Clawberg. And the first pitch to her is dropped. And then over to first and in time for out number one. So anxious moments there for Brianna Allen after she had the Steph Ballmer drive go past the tip of her glove and then mishandled the shot there from Clawberg before recovering in time for the first out. And now Mullenberg with her first pitch that gets fouled off to Corinne Miner. And Corinne Miner, as impressive as she's been in the circle this season, is how much she has done at the plate as well. As you see a shot down the right field line and caught. And that will advance the runner to third base. To finish up though, Miner hitting .294 this season with 2 home runs and a team leading 9 RBI. So that'll bring up Mariah Galhouse, a freshman from nearby Spring Hill, Florida. And Galhouse, .318 on the season. An impressive start for the youngster in a UT uniform as that one goes high and outside for a ball. And so 1-1 now to Mariah. And you see that Ellie Mullenberg doesn't waste any time with her pitches and already set to go with the 2-1. And here it is. And that's going to be ball 3 against Galhouse. 3-1. 2 outs and a runner on third base. And they do call strike 2. Home plate umpire Ralph Rodriguez with the call. And now the 3-2 fouled back. So Galhouse stays alive here in the bottom of the first. The Panthers did get a hit but did not score in the top of the first. And now the 3-2 is popped up and moving in, catching out number 3 is Celine Pauley. So for the Spartans, they get no runs on 1 hit. There were no Panther errors and 1 Spartans runner left on base. We'll be back on TampaSpartans.tv.
Nowadays, more and more people are on the go. We are all busy with work and family. Clean Eats has a solution. At every Clean Eats location, we have grab-and-go coolers that are packed full of freshly made breakfast, lunch, and dinner meals. Whether you are a soccer mom, business person, athlete, or just someone that does not have time to prepare your own meals, Clean Eats has you covered. Our grab-and-go cooler will always have a wide selection of meals to satisfy you. Each to-go meal is priced under $7 to make our food very affordable. Be sure to stop and try a to-go meal. Clean Eats, it's a lifestyle.
Bruce Wozniak back live with you here this afternoon in a rare matchup of the Spartans and the Davenport Panthers. These teams have only played twice in the history of the 2 programs. The first one being almost 10 years ago, February 28th, 2010 specifically. And that was a neutral site game won by the Spartans. And the only other time that they have played was 6 years ago, a 3-1 Davenport victory in 2014. And yet here they are scheduled for 2 this afternoon / early this evening as we get set for the top of the second. And Corinne Miner with the pitch there to Alexis Koza. And now a shot to center field, and Koza is going to be on with the second Panthers hit of the game. So she takes Minor's second pitch to center field for a base hit. And Koza had entered the game batting .375, so continues swinging the bat in a productive fashion for head coach Amber Bowman's Davenport Panthers, as we see Brianna Allen at the plate now. Allen 1 for 7 thus far this season for a 143 average through her team's 3 games played. And the count now 2-0 against the 5'8" senior from Riverbank, California. Next pitch to her, swung on and nicely hit to left field. But the catch made by Emily Profit for out number 1. So Allen gives it a nice ride, but Profit records the putout. And so that'll bring Monica Megger to the plate. And the first pitch to her, strike 1. Megger has played in just 1 game this season. Went 1 for 2 in that game. And now she faces Corinne Minor here, count 1-1 with 1 out and a runner on first. And that one is stopped by the catcher Lexi Chevalier as the count goes to 2-1. Minor delivers, and that one is fouled back, and now comes back onto the field after going up in the safety netting. 2-2. The veteran Corinne Minor in her senior year here at the University of Tampa, and sends that one for ball 3. Swung on and popped up, called for, and the catch made for out number 2. Steph Ballmer records the putout, and that'll bring the pitcher Ellie Mullenberg to the plate. Ball 1 to Mullenberg, who had yet to bat in her team's first 3 games. Swinging a foul tip, 1-1. So 2 away, a runner on first for Davenport. Mullenberg trying to help her own cause here as she takes ball 2. Alexis Koza standing over on first. And now the 2-1 swung on and fouled back to the screen. And here comes Minor with the 2-2. Got her, strike 3. And down go the Panthers in the top of the second. They get no runs on 1 hit. There were no Spartan errors and 1 Panthers runner left on base. We'll be back with the bottom of the second on TampaSpartans.tv. We are back live here at the Namoli Family Stadium on the grounds of the University of Tampa campus, where the Spartans are playing host to the Davenport Panthers. And a lot of softball being played here these days. If you are in the West Central Florida area, do come out and support the team in person. I'll be back here again later this week, Friday night, with a 6 p.m. start against Eckerd, before facing them again the next day in a doubleheader scheduled to start at 1 o'clock. And of course, this is game one of a doubleheader. We will have game two for you, of course, after a short break in between the two games here. So stick with us on TampaSpartans.tv. Moving into the bottom of the second now. And leading things off for UT will be Bailey Phillips. Phillips hitting 156. And shoots that one to right field and is promptly retired. A catch made out there by Celine Pauly. So that'll bring up the catcher, Lexi Chevalier. Chevalier shoots that one for a base hit to the warning track and relayed to second base, but not in time, as Chevalier goes in with a stand-up double, keeping Celine Pauly busy out in center field, as UT now with a runner in scoring position and only one out here in the bottom of the second, bringing Emily Jansen up to bat. And she takes the first pitch for ball one. I mentioned Steph Ballmer before, a big target at 5'10". Jansen stands 6'0", as you see her pop one to short for out number two. The put out registered by Brianna Allen, as Emily Prophet steps into the batter's box for the Spartans here with two away in the bottom of the second. And a runner in scoring position for the home team. And that one is up high for ball one. Prophet hitting 360. As you see the catcher, Alexis Koza, going out to talk with Mullenberg. And the 1-0 swung on and foul over towards the Spartan dugout. Prophet is 9 for 25 this season, as you see her follow that one back to the screen. The 1-2, and staying alive, Emily Prophet, as Mullenberg trying to close things out here for her Davenport Panthers in the bottom of the second. And that one is popped up and caught for out number three by the catcher Alexis Koza. So just like that, We are through 2 complete after the Spartans get no runs on 1 hit, no Davenport errors, and 1 Spartans runner left on base. We'll be back with the top of the 3rd right here on TampaSpartans.tv.
Freak alert! Jalen. Not like a slips into baby talk when he's feeling insecure kind of freak. Not even a whittle bit. Jalen's a freak about hand-slicing all-natural meats for every Jimmy John sandwich he makes. Look at his unfettered joy! And not just for ham. You should see him with Capicola. Thank you, Jalen. Your meat freakiness means better sandwiches for all. Freaky fresh, freaky fast, Jimmy John's, freak yeah!
Scoreless after 2 innings between the host Tampa Spartans and the Davenport Panthers, who have traveled all the way down to the Sunshine State from Michigan and taking on a Spartans team that stands 9-5 on the year. UT on a bit of a 1-loss pattern. They won their last game, lost the one before that, won the one before that, lost one. And mind you, at one point, the Spartans did have a 4-game winning streak. So since that 4-game winning streak, they've gone 2-2. As we start off the top of the 3rd inning, and Kennedy Crawford leading things off for Davenport. The 0-1 on the way to her. And strike 2. Crawford has played in all 3 of her team's games so far. .333 off of a 2-for-6 stat line. And 1-2 now against Corinne Miner. A redshirt junior. I stand corrected. I said she's a senior. And that one is slapped to center field. And nice catch made out there for out number 1 by Mariah Galhouse. And that'll bring Celine Pauley to the plate. Pauley, whose name I've called a few times already defensively out in center field. She's 0 for 1 in this game. Flew out to right field back in the 1st. And wow. Haley Phillips with the grab there. Quick glove. And so Gabby Palazzolo, who is 0 for 1 in this game, flew out to left back in the 1st. The 1-0 is fouled back to the screen. Two away here in the top of the 3rd. And the 1-1 now coming from Corinne Miner. 2-1. Palazzolo, the second base player for Panthers. And now Miner sees that one hit to left and caught routinely by Emily Prophet for out number 3. A fast-moving 2.5 innings as we remain scoreless. The Panthers that time around with no runs and no hits, no Spartan errors, and no runners left on base. We'll be back here from the Namoli Family Stadium right after this.
Whoever said that less is more or less mathematically challenged. Less isn't more, it's less. And the only thing more than more is a lot more, which is exactly what I get at Embassy Suites. More space. More downtime. More family time. More me time. More me time. More me time. Because the more I have, the more I have to have more.
More room, complimentary drinks, free breakfast. Embassy Suites Hotels.
Back here in the Namoli Family Stadium, the sun-splashed Namoli Family Stadium. As you see, the majority of the field catching the sun, the late afternoon sun, here in West Central Florida. As pitcher Ellie Mullenberg gets set to start the bottom of the third, pitching to Tampa right fielder Mackenzie Allen. So Allen with her first plate appearance of the game. Give you her stat line after this pitch. Strike one. Mackenzie Allen has played in 10 of the Spartans' 14 games so far this season. Just 3 at-bats officially, and that one will drop for a base hit. So Allen is on base with one that just falls out in front of the left fielder, Kennedy Crawford. And that'll bring Steph Ballmer to the plate. Ballmer, the shortstop, 1 for 1 so far. She doubled back in the first. And the catch made there. A nice play by the Panthers catcher, Alexis Koza. That'll bring up Christina Clawberg. 0 for 1 thus far. Grounded to short back in the first. And gives that one a ride. And it's going to go foul down the left field line. Caught though. Nice chase made. And a put out registered by Kennedy Crawford. So down goes Christina Clawberg. And just like that, there's 2 away here in the bottom of the third. So the pitcher, Corinne Miner, and pops it up and hit the screen. So 0-1 to Corinne Miner, who is 0 for 1 in this game. And that one gets away. And the Spartans, as a result, Mackenzie Allen will advance to second base. The 0-1 on the way, and Miner takes that one for ball 1. And again, as I mentioned before, Mullenberg quick with the delivery. As the count now 2-2 with 2 outs, a runner on second, and number 22 up to bat. 2s are wild. And that's going to be ball 3, so a full count now. It's Corinne Miner going to keep things alive for her team offensively here in the bottom of the third, and the payoff pitch is swung on and finds the hole. And they're waving the runner around, and she will score. And so Mackenzie Allen crosses the plate, and a RBI single for Corinne Miner. As you see it just get through the infield, bringing home Mackenzie Allen. Raya Galhouse, the batter now, 0 for 1 in this game, flew out to center back in the first. And now the 1-0 to her is called strike one. So the Spartans get the first run of the game on a Corinne Minor RBI single. And the next pitch is popped up and called for, and that will be out number 3 as Kennedy Crawford makes the catch, but not before UT puts up the game's first run. They get 1 run on 2 hits. There were no Davenport errors. And 1 runner left on base. We are through 3 complete. Our score is the Spartans 1 and the Panthers 0.
It's not about any one thing. It's about how everything comes together, how it all connects. People, ideas, resources, community, everything. Quality of life services. That's what we do. Sodexo.
If you are watching from a Davenport perspective, thanks for spending your Monday afternoon with us. Your team opening up the season on quite a road trip, spending a lot of time here in Florida after having started off with 3 games in Music City, playing this doubleheader today against Tampa. Tomorrow, going northeast about 2.5 hours from here to Daytona Beach for doubleheader against Embry-Riddle, and then moving on Thursday to Winter Haven, where they will play an extended schedule. In the meantime, it's the top of the 4th here against the Spartans. And Alexa Flores, the hitter. Strike 1 to Flores. She is the designated player in this first game for Davenport. She singled to right field in her first at-bat today in the first inning. And it has a 1-1 count right now against Corinne Minor. And the next pitch on the way to Flores is outside for ball 2. And I mentioned behind the plate for the Spartans this afternoon, Lexi Chevalier. We're used to seeing the senior Maddie Farrell back there. That one fouled back to the screen, 2-2. Farrell in pregame out on the field walking around in just shorts and a t-shirt and a significant wrap around her upper leg, the thigh area. So not active for this doubleheader. As the 2-2 on the way, a long fly ball down the right field line and bounces off the top of the fence, and Flores is going to go all the way to third, and they stop her there as head coach Amber Bowman gives her the halt signal. But a triple by Alexa Flores on a well-struck ball that goes off of the top of the right field fence, as giving chase was Mackenzie Allen. And Flores, you see on the replay, showing some wheels as she ends up all the way at third. And so now we're going to see Rachel Griffin, the first base player who struck out back in the first. And the first pitch to her, up and away for ball 1. So Griffin in an ideal situation here, no outs and a runner over at third. Strike one to Rachel Griffin, junior from Jackson, Michigan. Now Corinne Miner with the 1-1. She helped her own cause with an RBI single in the bottom of the third, and now needs to get out of what is a runner in scoring position, no outs situation here in the top of the fourth. And that one's outside for ball three. And let's see, the 3-1 to Griffin, and getting the strike, Corinne Miner. Ralph Rodriguez, the home plate umpire, punching that one out. So a full count now. And the 3-2 on the way, and goes foul. As you saw, the base runner, Alexa Flores, diving to get out of the way. Now another opportunity here. 3-2. Swung on and fouled the other way this time. Alexa Flores Rachel Griffin staying alive as Alexa Flores waits down at third base, hoping to come in with the tying run. Another 3-2 to Griffin, and gets the strikeout. Griffin thought she had drawn the base on balls and did a double take, looking back at home plate umpire Ralph Rodriguez. Nonetheless, she is retired as out number one here in the top of the fourth, and that'll bring up the catcher Alexis Koza. And strike one to Koza as Miner caught the outside corner. Koza singled to center field back in the first inning. Ball one. Miners 1-1, and that's ball two. And now the 2-1, and Koza swings and misses for strike two. So a big pitch here for Corinne Miner with a chance to exhale if she can get out number two, and she does as Koza swings and misses for the strikeout. And so the Spartans in a much better position now after the Alexa Flores triple, and now all of a sudden she continues to hold at third with two outs, and the batter Brianna Allen in the box now. And strike one to Allen, who flew out to left field in the second inning. Miners 0-1, chopped down the third base line, and nope, the umpire says that it hit home plate. And so it'll be 0-2, which if you're Brianna Allen, works out for the better. She would have been thrown out at first, barring disaster. And so she stays alive for at least one more pitch, and they continue their hopes with Alexis Flores. And nope, Alexa Flores will not score. Alexa Flores remains on base as the strikeout there. Spartans dodge a bullet in the top of the fourth as Davenport gets no runs on one hit, There were no UT errors and one runner left on base. Through 3.5, the Spartans holding a 1-0 lead.
At DoubleTree by Hilton, we believe in nice. Not your okay, fine, just being polite kind of nice, but a genuine nice. The kind that's contagious, that you can't help but take with you. The kind of nice you want to share with others. But don't take our word for it. Come for a stay and help us prove nice travels. Book at DoubleTree.com.
I'm Bruce Wozniak. Thanks for watching TampaSpartans.tv this afternoon in this first game of a scheduled doubleheader between the Tampa Spartans and the Davenport Panthers. UT in a 1-0 lead, courtesy of a Corinne Minor RBI single in the bottom of the third. And to start things off in the bottom of the fourth for the home team, it'll be Bailey Phillips, the third base player. Phillips 0 for 1 in this game. Flew out to center field in the second and chops that one foul. And what can you say about Corinne Minor? Wow. Gives up a leadoff triple in the top of the fourth and proceeds to strike out the next three batters. As Phillips pops that one way up in the air, and it's called for and caught for out number 1 by Brianna Allen. That'll bring up the catcher Lexi Chevalier, who doubled in the second inning and takes this first pitch for a ball. That one is fouled back out of play. One and one now to Lexi Chevalier. And now that one goes foul just over the fence down the left field line past the UT dugout. Chevalier, who played her high school ball nearby in Valrico at Bloomingdale High School. And now the 1-2 swung on and missed, and Lexi Chevalier goes down on the strikeout for out number 2. So that'll bring up first base player Emily Jansen. And the first pitch to her is popped up and off the safety net. Oh, and 1 to the lengthy Emily Jansen, 6'0", the lanky, I meant to say lanky Emily Jansen. And the 1-1 from Ellie Mullenberg on the way, and that's low for ball 2. And Mullenberg catches the corner for strike 2. So Jansen on the ropes here a bit. And chops that one for a base hit into left field. A nice hit by Lexi Chevalier there. Excuse me, Emily Jansen, I'm sorry. And so Jansen is aboard with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th, and her team leading 1-0. Emily Prophet fouls that one back to the screen. And now the 0-1 from Mullenberg, and that one is shot back to the screen, 0-2. And a tight game here, just 1 run scored. Spartans would love to do something with Emily Jansen, the base runner. But if they're going to do so, Emily Prophet's going to have to be successful in coming from behind in an 0-2 count. And swing and a miss. Strike 3. Down goes Prophet. So the Spartans in the 4th, no runs on 1 hit. There were no Panthers errors, and 1 Spartans runner left on base. We are through 4 complete. UT in the lead, 1-0.
Yeah, first of all, very flattered that everybody would come. Thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions before we move on?
Do you remember the girl wearing the Go Phil shirt following you around?
Yeah.
It's me.
I
It's
do.
been me on several occasions.
I started papering my cubicle with pictures of you.
Do you have a picture of the shrine? I mean, I'd love to see it.
I've got a mental picture of it, and
I do
it's
too.
pretty weird.
Yeah, a little bit.
I believe that I have a happy marriage because of you, because sometimes I do a little substitution, you know, just mentally.
Whoa.
But
Anyway, Mike, let's...
At Jimmy John's, we're freaks about best-in-class ingredients, so it's no wonder we announced our new 9-grain wheat sub in the middle of a wheat field. When you've got news this big, it's not enough to just add it to the menu. Where's the freak yeah in that? To celebrate a new sandwich with a taste so inspired, we introduced it in the place that inspired it. The new Jimmy John's 9-grain wheat sub, now available at a Jimmy John's much, much, much closer to you. Wheat yeah, freak yeah.
The 2 teams have combined for 8 hits, but a fast-moving game nonetheless, as we are starting the top of the 5th, and the Spartans in the lead by a score of 1-0. Corinne Miner with 5 strikeouts thus far in the game. Her pitch count up to 65, make that 66. This is Monica Megger batting for Davenport, and up high for ball 1. Miner ready, and the 1-1 on the way. Ball 2. And swing and a miss. Foul tip. Monica Megger 2-2 now. Megger, the right fielder, 0 for 1 so far in this game. And strike 3 just catches the outside corner. And so down she goes as out number 1. And down she goes as strikeout number 6 for Corinne Miner here in this top of the 5th. And that brings the catcher Ellie Mullenberg to the plate. And strike 1 to Mullenberg. Mullenberg 0 for 1, struck out looking back in the 2nd. Swing and a miss, and behind very quickly at 0-2 as she looks down the line at head coach Amber Bowman. Miner's pitch on the way and not able to close her out, 1-2. 1-2, way up high, swing and a miss, strike 3. Down goes Ellie Mullenberg. Another Corinne Miner strikeout. And there's 2 away for Davenport in the top of the 5th. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Kennedy Crawford, the left fielder, and taps that first one foul. Crawford 0 for 1 in the game, has the 0-1 on the way to her and chops that one foul. And now the 0-2, and that one's going to go into the screen. Kennedy Crawford persevering here with this at bat. Trying to get one over on Corinne Miner. And the 0-2 on the way, and right to second base, and over in plenty of time for out number 3. So the Spartans make that one quick and easy. Davenport gets no runs on no hits. There were no Spartan errors and no Panthers runners left on base. We will go to the bottom of the 5th with the Spartans holding the lead 1-0.
What do you get when you take your favorite food and stuff it inside a pocket of homemade dough? Cooked perfectly until golden brown. It's a mouth-watering empanada from Mr. Empanada. No one makes a better empanada. Take Ted Webb's word for it.
Almost as good as my mom used to make.
Check out our website for a location near you, MrEmpanada.com.
Back alive with you here in this first game of the doubleheader. The Spartans and the Davenport Panthers in only the 3rd ever meeting between the two teams, the first one since 2014. And UT leading this one 1-0. Their right fielder Mackenzie Allen starting things off for the Spartans here in the bottom of the 5th. The number 9 hitter for UT. And she singled in her only at-bat so far in this game. Coming back in the 3rd inning. And strike 1 to her. And Allen scoring the game's only run thus far. Behind in the count, 0-2. Mullenberg deals and got her as Mackenzie Allen goes down with the strikeout as out number 1 in the bottom of the 5th. That brings up the top of the order for the Spartans and Steph Ballmer, who's 1 for 2 in this game. And you see ball 1 there. Ballmer led off the game with a double. And now here she is in the bottom of the 5th. A 1-0 from Mullenberg. Ball 2. Another local product on the Spartans roster. Starts off showing bunt and takes that for strike 1. And the 2-1, and Ballmer watches that one go outside for ball 3. There's the 3-1, and the base on balls to Steph Ballmer. And that'll bring up Christina Clawberg. As the pitch count for Ellie Mullenberg now up to 57. And there you see successfully sliding into second. Nice job there on the base paths for the home team as the Spartans get Steph Ballmer over to second. So Clawberg in the meantime, count 0-1 on her, and takes that one for ball one. One away in the bottom of the fifth, and that one gets away from the catcher again, and as Koza goes back to pick it up, Ballmer advances to third. So Christina Clawberg now in the enviable position of being ahead in the count 2-1 with only one out, and her teammate down at third base and finds the gap, shoots it into center field for the RBI single, and the Spartans take the 2-0 lead as Ballmer crosses the plate. Well struck ball by Christina Clawberg, and found the gap between second base player and short. And it's coming with just one out here in the bottom of the fifth. And there's strike one to Corinne Miner. Miner is 1 for 2. She had driven in the game's first run back in the third inning with a single of her own and chops that one foul. Behind now 0-2. The 0-2 from Mullenberg, and Miner lashes that one deep to center field, but nicely caught out there by Celine Pauly for out number 2. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter Mariah Gelhaus, who's 0 for 2 in this game. Center fielder flew out to center field back in the first, and then popped out to short in the third inning. She's batting here with 2 outs in the bottom of the fifth. Her team up 2-0 and a runner on first base, and slaps that one. They get the put out at second base for out number 3, but not before the Spartans put up another run on the board. They get 1 run on 1 hit. There were no Davenport errors, and 1 runner left on base. So through 5 complete, the Spartans' lead grows. They now have the advantage, 2-0.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
Corinne Miner completing her warm-up pitches here as we get set to start the top of the 6th inning. She has thrown 78 pitches. 51 of them for strikes, and as a result 7 strikeouts to this point. Another nice display of pitching by the redshirt junior. And to start things off in the top of the 6th, she will face the center fielder Celine Pauly. She is Davenport's leadoff hitter and is 0 for 2 so far in this game. 1-0. Pauly, the tip there. One and one to Celine Pauly, the senior outfielder, playing center field today. And the pitch to her, high outside, ball 2. Minor goes the other way. Ball 3. She was in on Pauly that time. And the 3-1 on the way. Swung on, popped up, and not playable. The count will go full against Celine Pauly. Home plate umpire Ralph Rodriguez holding up the 3-2 count behind catcher Lexi Chevalier. And that one is struck and caught just beyond the infield grass for the out by Steph Ballmer.
Batting for Davenport, number 1, Gabby Palazzolo.
And that'll bring up Gabby Palazzolo, the second base player. She's 0 for 2 today. Flew out to left field both times and sends that one to left field again, and this time it's for a base hit. And so Palazzolo is in with her team's 4th hit of the afternoon with just 1 out here in the top of the 6th. That'll bring Alexa Flores to the plate. And Flores, you recall, had tripled to start off the 4th inning and was stranded there when Minor struck out the next 3 batters. She also singled back in the 1st. So a good start this afternoon for Alexa Flores at 2 for 2. As you see the play there with Palazzolo safely into second base. And so the plot thickens now as there's just 1 out in the top of the 6th, and Davenport with the tying run at the plate. And a ball called there. So Alexa Flores 2-1. And swinging a foul tip, 2-2. And impressive that there are fans of the Davenport Panthers here, team based in Michigan. And now the 2-2 from Minor. Swing, foul tip, and Flores stays alive. Corinne Minor ready. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. And down goes Alexa Flores. And an exhale there for the Spartans fans who are watching here in the Namoli Family Stadium, as it's now 2 outs. And 8 strikeouts for Corinne Minor. As you see the conference out in the pitching circle between Minor and the catcher Lexi Chevalier. And speaking of strikeouts, in case you're wondering, on the other side of the ledger, Ellie Mullenberg has 3 strikeouts in the circle for the Panthers. And we're getting a pinch hitter here as Riley Kalina batting in the top of the 6th for Davenport. She's behind 0-1 in the count. Minor at the next pitch gets her to bite on that one, 0-2. Riley Kalina. That one's way upstairs. She's played in 2 of Davenport's 3 games thus far, although just 2 at-bats. And no hits yet. And they get her strike 3. Kalina goes down looking for the 3rd out of the inning as the Spartans dodge the Panthers getting a runner on base. So no runs on 1 hit. There were no Spartan errors and 1 Panther left on base. Through 5 1/2, the score holds Tampa 2 and Davenport nothing. I'm Bruce Wozniak. You're watching Tampa Spartans softball on tampaspartans.tv. The home team leading 2-0 here as we get ready to enter the bottom of the 6th. And I want to correct myself again. I mentioned before that Corinne Minor is a redshirt junior. Well, more specifically on catcher Maddie Farrell, it's not her thigh that's wrapped, it's her knee. So just to be more accurate with the medical report. Regardless, we will not see her in action today. And in the meantime, we will see Bailey Phillips. Batting for the Spartans here to lead off the bottom of the 6th. Phillips 0 for 2. And sends that one to left field, and it stays fair. And so it drops in for a single to start off the bottom of the 6th. Bailey Phillips reaches base with a ball that I think the Panthers players were thinking, or at least hoping, was going to go foul, but finally dropped in as she turns the corner there and leads off the bottom of the 6th with a runner on base for the Spartans, who already lead 2-0. And now a bunt laid down by Chevalier, and they do get her at first. However, Phillips advancing to second, so the sacrifice as they get another runner in scoring position to set things up for Emily Jansen. And now we're going to see a conference in the pitching circle for the Panthers. And meanwhile, a pinch runner put in for UT as Anissa Grant out at second base. Emily Jansen 1 for 2 in this game. Singled in the 4th inning, and strike 1 to her here in the bottom of the 6th with just 1 out. And now Mullenberg with the 0-1. Outside, 1-1. 1 out here as the Spartans working late in this first game of the doubleheader, and a swing and a miss there by Emily Jansen. 1-2. And Anissa Grant holding at second base for the Spartans. who lead the game 2-0, and a bouncing ball that, oh, nice play made defensively there. However, she knocked it down, did the shortstop, Brianna Allen. However, no play made as the Spartans get runners on the corners with just one out. As you see the diving attempt made by Brianna Allen. However, while she stopped the ball from getting out of the infield, by then it was too late to make a play anywhere. And so UT with an opportunity now as the pinch runner, Anissa Grant, down at third base. And there's a shot to second, over to, no. Run scores. They get the out, Emily Jansen at second. But safe at first is Emily Profit, and gets an RBI as the Spartans put another run up. Anissa Grant scoring to make it 3-0. And so with two outs, that brings Mackenzie Allen to the plate. And Allen takes that for ball one. Allen 1 for 2 in this game. Singled in the third and struck out in the fifth. And that one's high and outside for a ball. So UT now leading 3-0. And a runner on first, two outs, bottom of the sixth. And the 2-0 is in the dirt. And again, the runner will advance. Emily Profit goes to second. And so things are looking up here for head coach Leslie Cantor's Tampa Spartans team. And the 3-0 on the way. And not that time, says home plate umpire Ralph Rodriguez. 3-1 to Mackenzie Allen, with her teammate Emily Profit down at second. Next pitch on the way, and wow, caught quickly and easily by Haley O'Mara for out number 3. But not before the Spartans get one run on 2 hits. There were no Davenport errors and one runner left on base. So we are through 6 complete, and the Spartans now with a lead of 3-0.
For 42 minutes, he's been trying to bring an entire stadium to its feet. Why does he do it? For glory? Notoriety? We don't know. Frankly, we don't need to know. But much like this hero, Courtyard is all about the game.
1, 2, 3. Hey, there's my guy. Yes. Go. Snacks? Yeah, man. Eat it up, and we're going to burn it off doing the wave. Boy came in today.
Back live here at the Namoli Family Stadium for what the fans of the home team hope will be the last half inning of the game, as UT has given themselves what you might consider an insurance run in that last at-bat. A score now of 3-0, and we head to the top of the 7th of this first game of this scheduled doubleheader between the Spartans and the Davenport Panthers. And pitcher Corinne Miner talking with her teammates in the pitching circle. She has thrown 95 pitches and has 9 strikeouts. And to start things off in the top of the 7th, she will face catcher Alexis Koza of Davenport. And strike one to Koza, who is 1 for 2, singled back in the second inning and then struck out in the 4th. Miner calm, cool, and collected, and sends that one up high for a ball. So the count now 1-1 to Alexis Koza. And there's a shot out of play on the first base side just past the Panthers dugout. So 1-2, the count now against the number 5 hitter. And Miner delivers, and that's going to be ball 2. Next pitch on the way, fouled back. And Alexis Koza stays alive here. Of course, we will have Game 2 on TampaSpartans.tv. We will go off the air in terms of our broadcast. You will not hear any audio during the break. As you see, ball 3 there to Koza. And after the team's break between the two, we will be back to call Game 2 for you here, as that one is struck nicely and not going to be fielded by the shortstop, Steph Ballmer. And so the Panthers have a runner aboard here to start the top of the 7th. And it is scored an error on Steph Ballmer as Koza, the runner on first now, and her teammate Brianna Allen, the shortstop, up to bat and showing bunt, and that one goes foul. Allen 0 for 2 in this game. Flew out to left in the second and struck out in the fourth. And pops that one up. Ballmer ranges back, makes the catch. And that's out number 1. And of course, Koza holding over at first. That'll bring up the number 7 hitter, Monica Megger, who is 0 for 2 in this game. Popped out to short in the second, and then struck out in the 5th. And here in the top of the 7th, she takes ball 1 from Corinne Miner. And the next pitch on the way, strike 1. And head coach Amber Bowman wants a word with home plate umpire Ralph Rodriguez. And we're going to get a pinch runner at first base for the Panthers as Jordan Urban comes in for Alexis Koza. And meanwhile, the batter is Monica Megger, and the count 1-1 to her. And strike, that's 1-2 now. A 1-2 on the way, and outside for ball 2. Two, and they try to get the runner and do. So the pinch runner, Jordan Urban, thrown out down at second base. And the Spartans now 1 out away from a victory. As the at-bat continues for Monica Megger. And there we go. There's the ball game. Strike 3. And down goes Megger. So no runs, no hits, 1 Spartan error. And most importantly is those no runs, which is for all innings of this game, as Corinne Miner gets the complete game shutout, and UT wins it by a score of 3-0. The final line score, Tampa 3 runs on 8 hits. They commit 1 error, and the Panthers no runs on 4 hits. They committed no errors. And so the losing pitcher for Davenport will be Ellie Mullenberg. And for Mullenberg, she pitches 6 innings, gives up the 8 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned. She walked 1 struck out 3, and a final pitch count of 76. And meanwhile, for Corinne Miner, not only did she help her own cause at the plate by going 1 for 3 with an RBI, but Miner, the complete game shutout, allowing just the 4 hits, strikes out 10, and a total pitch count of 110. So the Spartans win it by a score of 3-0, and on the season, their overall one-loss record improves to 10-5. And we will be back after the break for the second game of the doubleheader between the Spartans and the Davenport Panthers.